Think he was kind of backed into a corner at that point. There was no one else left for him to fight that actually made sense. Also, you definitely poked the bear a couple times. I think eventually you do kind of give in, I guess. It's only one to take. TKO. I think he's crafty enough to stay out of the submissions. I think I'm gonna have to beat him up. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm hoping to get a first round, second round TKO stoppage. And if I beat him up too much and he decides to take the other way out, he'll put his neck out there the same way Johnny Eduardo did, and I'll snatch it up quick and I'll put the constrictor on him. Stylistically, it's a great matchup. I think it's a challenging matchup for me to really test my grappling skills to see where I'm really at in terms of measuring myself up with like a Rafael Sunsao, a TJ Dillashaw. And it's kind of, for me, I'm looking at it as a progressional step to being where I want to be. So I fought all these strikers, and I pretty much kill them with the ground stuff, and they haven't been able to really to do much, and even on the feet they haven't been able to do much in terms of their striking, and they're supposed to be well known for that. But yeah, so I think one step at a time. I think this would be the last piece of the puzzle to really see where I'm at and go from there, and hopefully I pass this test with flying colors and call out the winner of Cruz and Faber. I like both guys, but I've actually met Faber a couple of times. He's a cool dude, but if I'm gonna go based on the fight styles and of their performances of late, I'm gonna have to go with Cruz, just based on those things alone. I think everything I do is just different. It's a different style. Um, I'm not saying I can't be beat, but at the end of the day, I know I pose my threats. I pose some different things that these guys haven't seen before. It's one of those things where these guys are training with guys. They see the same stuff over and over and over. They fight guys who do the same stuff over and over. So they aren't seeing nothing new. I think with me, it's an unpredictable game where I just think you just never know what's going to happen. And sometimes I don't even know what the hell I'm going to do, man. Like that freaking arm triangle from bottom. I didn't even know I had that in my arsenal. I just pulled it out of nowhere, and it's just one of those things. So I think I definitely match up with those guys really well. Not much of a relationship before anything. I mean, he knew who I was just based on me being a Cerro Longo guy, him being good friends with Matt. Um, he loved Chris, and I like Quinta. So I think just based on that, he just had a natural respect for me, kind of thing. After the free agency thing happened, well, during the free agency, after the press conference, he personally came over to me and just told me I handled everything professionally. I didn't like try to throw the UFC under the bus, kind of thing. I mean, I did specify the numbers that I was originally offered, the whole 20 and 20 thing, and that was mainly because I know a lot of people were giving me shit because I was taking a long time to sign the contract and not getting right back in there and fighting. I'm like, people don't understand. This is like our livelihood. Like, we have to make the right decisions for ourselves. And if we just go out there and just kind of just take whatever is given to us right at the snap of their fingers, kind of makes no sense in terms of the longevity and the financial backing when we're done fighting and when it's all said and done. So for me, I recognize what this is. This is a prize fighting sport. You need to scrape in as many pennies as you can, and set yourself up, set your future up for yourself, because the UFC is going to keep running. They're going to be able to keep promoting and keep doing this. There's going to be other fighters that are going to be anxious to want to get into the UFC. So it's like, what are you going to do different instead of just making this thing a revolving door? And that's the way I look at it. I think what I did would probably open up a lot of eyes of the younger fighters, maybe. If not, there's a lot of uneducated fighters out there right now. I mean, there has been an increasing, I guess, population of fighters that come in with a college degree, such as myself and a few other guys. But I think there's still a great amount of fighters who just don't get the business aspect of the sport yet. So to answer your question, I think we do have a good relationship now. I think he understands that I understand what's going on, and I'm just trying to do the best for me. And I told him straight to his face. I said, I just don't want to have to teach anymore. I want to be able to make enough where I can make a teacher salary and be happy with my earnings. And I told him, I was like, I'm more than happy to work for it. I'm not asking for a handout. I will work for my money and get it done that way. Nerves, man. That's part of the game. If you're not nervous, I think something's wrong. Even if you're calm, cool, collected, you have to have some type of nerve. I think it just makes you react better. I think it heightens your sense of your I guess that fight or flight mechanism that we're just born with. So I think if you have those nerves, I think it definitely uh, elevates those I don't know those characteristics, whether your speed, your reflexes, your I think it broadens your visions for you to be able to see things a lot clearer and more precise. And for me, I think it works for me. I live in the moment, so I enjoy going out there to fight. I enjoy the walkout. I never used to watch the walkouts whenever I had my fights, and now I do solely for that reason, just to take everything in because it's such a short career window where I feel like a lot of guys don't take time out to smell the roses. They just kind of tunnel vision in the cage, out the cage. I'm like, nah, man, I want to like see this whole thing kind of unravel. I want to be able to remember this and be able to describe the crowd, describe the atmosphere, and that kind of thing. And I have a saying that's called "I come alive in the nighttime," and I truly do believe that. Sometimes I don't have the best training sessions, but I know on fight night I've done a really good job so far of showing up, and yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Yeah, don't become this guy's highlight reel. That's pretty much the main thing. Is go out there and you fight. You leave it all out there, and it's just one of those things where I'm just like, it's either him or me, and it's just you got to do everything. I got to do everything I can in my abilities, everything possible to be the better man that night. So even if I'm not feeling good or I'm a lot more nervous than what I normally am, kind of thing. Is how do I channel that and make it ultimately work for me? How do I still keep control and be the puppet master and dictate the fight, opposed to letting the guy kind of control the waltz, kind of thing? Would be a phys ed teacher, phys ed certified, and I would have summers off. I would be able to hang out at Jones Beach with my Coronas and hanging out at the cabana and practicing my surf skills. So, um, the thing is, I want to get to travel like the way I get to now. I want to get to meet all these great people and these athletes and these superstars and other celebrities and things like that who are fans of the sport. So I'm blessed to be able to do that kind of stuff. Yeah, I think the new contract, if I go out there and I win, if I win and I destroy Mr. Tate, make him curl up like a little cheese doodle, I think I think I'd be sitting pretty well for this year, and that's only one fight. And then the second fight, I'll be able to double that and plus some. And then, granted I win and things go well, then I think 2016 it would be a great year for me financially, for my family. My mom doesn't even have a green card, man. Like it's just one of those things where I'm from a family of 20. I'm kind of left with this burden of my mom not having a place to go. She's unable to work. She's not with my dad anymore. They just recently got divorced. So I'm kind of just screwed in terms of like not screwed, but I'm kind of left with that burden of having to be the I guess the one of the heroes to kind of help take care of my mom and my siblings and that kind of thing, help them get by in this period where we don't really have the guidance of our father being around and kind of doing the right thing by his kids. So yeah, man, there's a lot on my plate, and just like anybody else, we're fighters are human, man. We have responsibilities. We have a ton of other things we have to do, and I guess that's the main thing. I got to make this fight game work for me, and I think I'm doing the right thing, setting up my S corp. I'm doing the right things, setting up my IRAs, my Roth IRA accounts, and yeah, man. The plan is to be able to have enough money to put in my account where it can make money for me, and then whatever business ventures I go on. I actually do have a business venture I'm working on right now. It's called Island Boy. It's a retail company. My parents are both Jamaican. I grew up on Long Island, kind of thing, and it's kind of like that Long Island attitude slash Island Boy attitude. So for me, I think it's a really cool concept. The clothing is gonna be dope. It's gonna be mostly shirts and tank tops and things like that, but it's gonna be swaggy, so it's gonna be nice. It's not gonna be like a typical fighter shirt where it just looks like there's so much going on where it's going to be like a lifestyle brand. So I'm excited about that. I think people are going to really really love this, especially if they like the other stuff already that I've been doing. So yeah, man, I'm just trying to figure out, dip my fingers in all these other things. I'm trying to hopefully land this role in this movie. If we pick up backers, man, that's going to be awesome. I'm going to be an undercover cop, so that's going to be really cool to to do something like that. It'd be my first official role, so I'm excited. I'm not really close with everybody. It's one of those things. There's eight of us that are full, and the rest of us are all halves. So I got a brother that lives in Jamaica. I have a sister I don't really talk to. Just there's so many things, man. That just and then my dad. I don't talk to my dad either. So I got a lot of stuff going on that just kind of just messes everything up, and it is what it is, man. Everyone's got their problems. You know what? Chris had some very key moments in that first fight, and I think outside of having a bad training camp, it looks like they both had a bad training camp in terms of how tired they were. But right now, just watching Chris train, he's in a much better place in terms of his physical conditioning. So I'm excited to see how it goes. I do think Chris is going to get the finish, and there will probably be a trilogy. But hopefully, this one is so bad that they won't even need the trilogy anytime soon, kind of thing. Yeah, yeah. He chokes me out all the time, but whenever I do get one on him, I throw it in his face. 'Cause I let him know like you choked me out 5 times, I got you one, so I at least feel somewhat good about myself. I sneak one in there somehow because he's just like after you choke somebody out a couple times, you kind of get a little lazy. You're just like, I can do whatever I want, kind of thing. One mistake and I can catch him. So I gotta catch him slipping. Well, I just had a guy from Australia buy a hat and a shirt, and he gave me extra money for weigh-ins so that I could get fueled up to beat up on Caraway. So that was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I've never had anybody do that before, but yeah, I guess that'd be the nicest thing as of right now. I mean, fan art is always fun. It's always cool. People take their time out to draw stuff. That's always nice to see. I think that's very cool for people to actually go out their way to want to do something like that. I'm an extreme chocolate junkie. It's so bad. I would sit there and eat bags of chocolate, bars, Milky Ways, Babe Ruths, Butterfingers. I eat everything. Anything chocolate, I will eat it until I get pretty much sick, where I feel like I'm ready to puke, kind of thing. Not really big on candy, but chocolate, I just crush it. I love pizza. I actually love making chocolate lava cakes. Whenever I get the time to do that, I try to do that. I bake it from scratch, so those are always nice to have. And I just found a new love for surfing. So I think that I never been introduced to that. Just growing up in my hometown, so it's like, oh, it's a black kid that knows that can actually surf, kind of thing. Black kid that can swim. So it's like pretty cool to do something outside of the norm. So it's the Secret. I watched that. That really like kind of just shaped my mind up a lot. And even watching that movie 7 Pounds by Will Smith. There's a bunch of different movies out there that get you that motivational burst of energy where you just watching, you get up and you're like, I'm ready to go run like half a marathon or something right now. A quote I live by: when I dream, I work reality. It's one of those things I believe in. It's something I thought about, and I was like, whenever you have dreams, man, you have goals. You gotta work and make it a reality, kind of thing. And that's what I've done from the very beginning. And I said that from I think my first pro fight, and here I am today.